All right, students, here we go. Today we're going to be talking about surface area of prisms. And I happen to have a teaching aid here, no sponsor, but they're delicious cookies. We're going to be talking about surface area, and unlike volume, which is how much space is taken up by a three-dimensional object, surface area is how much two-dimensional area it takes to make that object. Or if we were to break it down to its two-dimensional parts, how much area would that take up? So we're looking at flat surface area that would then become a three-dimensional prism. All right, that was fun. We're talking about two different types of prisms today. This would be a rectangular prism. If all dimensions are the same, it's called a cube as well. Pretty familiar with this one. But today we're going to add in a triangular prism. This is, in fact, an isosceles triangular prism. So it kind of has one triangular base here and then extends out into three dimensions, giving us the triangular base at the end as well. The formula for today's lesson is going to be capital S, surface area, equals 2 times the base area, which replicates that we have two different bases, front and back here, maybe top and bottom on the rectangular, however you want to think about it, but call one of them bases, plus the L, or we'll call that lateral area. Lateral area, I'll just show you quick how to figure lateral area for any prism. Lateral area is going to be the perimeter of the base times the height of the whole prism. Now that can be kind of difficult to think about, so hopefully I'll help you break it down pretty simple today. Let's start with the rectangular prism. And finding the surface area of the rectangular prism, we're going to find, again, surface area equals 2 base areas, 2 times base area, plus lateral area. Now I'm going to leave that formula alone for just a little bit, and I'm going to talk about how to find base area. For this shape, I'm going to consider 12 by 20 the base, kind of like it's sitting on the base. So let's see if I can just kind of shade it here. It's also got another base, and we'll consider that kind of the top. So those are my two base areas. We're going to be finding area of each of those rectangles. So in this case, base area will equal length times width for a rectangle, 12 times 20. So capital B equals 12 times 20, or 240 meters squared. Area is always in square meters. I know your last assignment was talking about volume, but this is going to be talking about area. Volume is in cubic, area is in squared. Now finding lateral area. Lateral area is all these faces around the side here. We got a front, back, left, right. And we're going to be finding that lateral area in the same way for all of our prisms. So we have lateral area equals the perimeter of the base, or the base perimeter, times the height of the whole thing. Height of the whole prism is going to be 18. So let's go lateral area equals perimeter times height. We'll just leave that 18 in there for right now. It's easier to just say the height is 18. Height is always distance between the bases. Kind of a side note here. So if our bases are top and bottom, height is in between them. If our bases are front and back, height is in between them. So that changes over here on a triangular prism. So finding perimeter. Perimeter of the base is 12 plus 20 plus 12 plus 20, or 2 12s would make 24, 2 20s would make 40, so 24 and 40 would make 64. Grab my calculator here. To calculate lateral area, I'm going 64 times 18. Now what this has done for us is it's giving the perimeter of the base. It's like we unfolded the whole thing. I'm gonna grab my teaching aid here. This is the base, and we're finding the distance around, so technically we're finding all of these faces here that would make up the three-dimensional box, finding area of all of them at once. That's why our number is relatively large. So 1,152 lateral area equals 1,152 meters squared. Last thing is to go back to our formula and say surface area equals 2 times the base area plus the lateral area. So surface area equals 2 times the base, 240, plus the lateral, 1,152. So this is going to be 480 plus our 1,152. Let's go easy way here. Plus 480 is going to equal 1,632. Label is still meters squared. We found that by saying, see that? Oh my goodness. There we go. We found that by saying surface area equaling 2 times the base area plus the lateral area. This can be kind of confusing, so make sure you take your time, make sure you identify your measurements before you get too deep into your problem. Let's go next to our triangular prism. Our triangular prism is going to change a little bit in the fact that we have a different base area. In this case, our bases, kind of color this here, will be the front triangle and the back triangle. So we have our area formula is going to change. It's no longer going to be length times width because that was a rectangle. We now are going to use base times height divided by 2 to find a triangle. So let's kind of map this out here. Let's give myself some more room. Surface area is still 2 times the base area plus the lateral area. Let's go find base area first. Base area in this case is going to be base times height of the triangle divided by 2. So 2 times 2.5, then divided by 2. Those 2's would actually cancel out in division, giving us 1, and then times 2.5 would be just 2.5. Or you could say 2.5 times 2 is 5, and then divided by 2 is back to 2.5. So base area equals 2.5 inches squared. Let's work on finding our lateral area now. Lateral area is the same formula no matter what prism you're looking at. So we have perimeter times height. But when we find perimeter, it's going to be the perimeter of the base. So kind of trace this over here. We have 3, 3, and this one is actually 2 because it's congruent to the side in front of it. So 3, 3, and 2. 3 and 3 makes 6. 2 more is 8. So lateral area is 8 times, and I told you over here, height is always distance between the bases. So in this case, it's going to be 10 inches. Well, 8 times 10 is just 80, so lateral area is 80 inches squared. But we're not done yet. Got to make sure we figure this out for surface area. So we'll wrap it up by going back to our formula here. Surface area equals 2 times the base area plus the lateral area. So surface area equals 2 times 2.5 plus 80. 2.5 times 2 is 5, plus the 80 is 85 square inches, or inches squared. That's going to be a couple problems on your surface area of prisms lesson. I'm going to look at one more. Hopefully this will help you in your concepts of what surface area actually is. So this is a triangular prism but folded out. and I wanted to kind of make sure that you understood where we're getting our dimensions from, and maybe show you even another way of finding our surface area of our prisms. So this is actually what we call a net. A net would fold into a three-dimensional figure, and it shows it in 2 dimensions. So this is a net of a triangular prism. I'm going to show you if I find the area of each of these, they'll actually add up to be the total surface area. So let's start easy. If I go this rectangle right here, we have 5 times 12. 5 times 12 is 60, so this one's going to be 60 square meters. This would also be 5 times 12, another 60 square meters. And looking at these in simple figures helps you kind of relate to the information. This middle rectangle is slightly larger. It is, instead of 5 by 12, it's 7 by 12. And 7 times 12 is 84 square meters. So that's what we call our lateral area. That's our distance around. It'd be like we'd say 5 plus 7 plus 5 times 12, and that would give us the same answer as this. Last thing to add up is we have 2 right triangles, base times height divided by 2 for this. So if we go base times height, we get 5 times 5, or 25, and if we go 25 divided by 2, that gives us 12.5 or 12.5. So 12.5 meters squared, and then another 12.5 meters squared. If we add all these up, that's going to give us our total surface area. So let me calculator here. Let's go 12.5 and 12.5. Both of those would be back to the 25. So we'll go 12.5 plus 12.5 plus 2 60s and plus the 84. So all total, this surface area is going to be 229 square meters. Surface area equals 229 square meters. Just another way to look at it. I think you'll also have a problem like that on your practice page. Email me if you need any help. Private message me on Google Classroom. Let me know. Okay, thanks for watching.